believe in how there's a supernatural being that intervenes in affairs of men. If they're planning rigging, fine. Others will watch it and they rig, okay. I don't believe in speculation. Let me tell you, this election will be the toughest.
You think so?
It will be very tough.
In what ways?
In every way. In every way.
Keenly contested, of course. But the opposition, you have split your votes again.
Don't worry. Let everybody emerge. Let everybody emerge. And then we'll see how we go about it.
So there's still a game plan?
You see, we met 3 days ago, about 7 parties. Anyway, let's not go there. Let's not go there. What we did was just a review of the process. But you see, the politics of Rivers is interesting. And Fubara is like somebody escorted to Golgotha. You know what is Golgotha? In the Bible, a place of the skull. That's why they slaughtered, they cut off the skull. Somebody was escorted to Golgotha until the dying minute. But here's an option. Fubara can run. Fubara can contest. And I still hold this strongly, that any platform Fubara goes, he will still be governor. Their interest is to vote for Tinubu. No problem. Let all of you put your votes together. But let us release the names of governorship candidates in Rivers. The equation will change. Forget about all this now. We are going to win everywhere. No, it doesn't work. How will Fubara run? For you to run, you must make sacrifices. What is the sacrifice?
This is Nigeria Unfiltered on SYMFONI TV. My name is Onlawale Oluwade. And my guest today is one of Nigeria's preeminent politicians, Barrister Nwanyanwu, Chairman, Zenith Labour Party. Chief Daniel, nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's get right into our conversation. Quite a number of issues we need to cover. First off, what's the updates on the Attorney General or INEC's bid to deregister your party, ADC, and I think a couple of others?
Well, it is not INEC. An amorphous organization known as Association of Former Legislators, which is like a social club, went to court, sued ADC, Attorney General, and INEC, that ADC should be deregistered for not meeting the threshold of the Constitution of winning election. Nigerians cried, you want to also destroy ADC? That was in December. In January, they went to add other parties, including ZLP. But as we filed our defense, including the issue of locus, they discovered that the party that went to court is not a juristic personality. It is not a body that should sue, going by its object clause. It's just a social club and meeting of friends. So when they discovered that, they said they wanted to amend. We said no. Other parties said no. All you have to do is take it out and put a new one. The judge overruled us that they can amend. Even what they didn't ask for, the judge gave them.
What's the name of the judge?
Justice Lifu. That alerted us that we are these people for a purpose, that they're working for some people. We said, okay, let's keep going. So, while we did not agree with the judgment of the ruling of the learned justice, one of the parties went to Court of Appeal. And we came back to ask for stay proceedings. The judge said, no. Put on all your address, do everything. I will give judgment on the 5th of June. While we were waiting for that, the Court of Appeal matter came up. And the Court of Appeal was very angry with the judge. Anyway, moving forward, the state proceedings. And the Court of Appeal did not fail to say that judgment is part of the proceedings of a court. Well, we are going to get back to Court of Appeal in October. So that matter is deemed to have been stayed. But what was the intendment of taking Zenith Labour Party to court? You know, we have Shylocks, political Shylocks, whose duty is to cause trouble everywhere in every political party so that they will have their way. They found out they could not penetrate my party to create a division. They knew we are like water, we have no enemy, we will do our things our own ways. So the best thing is put them that they didn't win anything. We know we will lose, but before that time, nominations and everything would have been done. Their suspicion, which I later confirmed, was that thought P2B and all those people are coming to us as the most peaceful party in Nigeria. So it's okay. And also to make the platform unusable. I must tell you that mere announcing that we were in court, we lost a lot of...
It scared a lot of people
away in this nomination process. I have about 4 or 5 governorship aspirants who have gone to other parties. They come and say, sorry, Dan, we wanted to come back to you. And I said, we are not in court. The only thing expected a political party to win, the only office is one councillor, just one. You would have qualified, you would have met the threshold of the Constitution. We have 15 local governments. We have 176 councillors. Abia, Nasarawa, Rivers, before they cancelled that of Rivers. These are our winnings. They knew all they wanted to was to make Zenith Labour Party unusable, unattractable. Which, of course, they succeeded by most people running away. It's only those that had strong faith in us, that believed in the leadership of the party, that knew that I will not be lying. I have not been lying in politics. I will not lie in politics. I say it as it is. And I told them we had no division. They say we didn't win. Look at our wins. I displayed the certificate of returns on television publicly. So, we continued, and that was the outcome. But the one that pained us, while the matter was in court, the Attorney General of the Federation filed his defense, agreeing with the plaintiff that they should register us, that we didn't win anything. That infuriated us. He did not stop at filing it. He went to the market. That was how the leadership of our party responded to him. That Attorney General, Chief Law Officer, since you have decided to dance naked in the market square, notwithstanding the matter pending in court, we, ZLP, without prejudice to the matter in court, you lied under oath. This is called perjury. And you should resign from your office because you are no longer a fit and proper person to occupy that office. Did you do due diligence before you appended the authority and signature on that document? You should have called there are many lawyers in the Ministry of Justice. Please go and find out from INEC whether these people actually didn't win anything. Rather, you went to the market, opened your fat mouth and was talking all sorts of rubbish to the public. That was our response. That was how we responded to him. Because we didn't see it proper. If he had not gone to the market, we would have limited it to the court. And his statement turned many things. Many people started, you are in court, you are in court. We said, no, let us also tell the public, because this is a nomination period. This is likely to have a devastating effect on the party. And we are suffering it now. We didn't do anything. We won. We passed the threshold of the Constitution. Attorney General. Even INEC in their depositions and response to the court. They say, no, the plaintiffs are wrong. Attorney General, you're also wrong. We have records of all these people. They qualified based on what Constitution says. So strike out the case, dismiss the case.
That was INEC's defense.
That is INEC defense to the court. That like all these defended parties. Professor Mahmoud did that before he left. Immediately after the whole election, he sent to parties to inform us of your winnings. They cleared everybody. But this Attorney General, he was working on something. Then we say, well, there's no due diligence, or you don't have competent lawyers in your office. Have you gone to recruit, charge and bail lawyers in your office? That they could not go and... What stopped you from calling INEC? Let me have the position of these people. You did not do it. You went on a frolic of your own. And that's why we attacked him. In a decent climb, Attorney General will not be sitting there today because he lied on oath. Bam! He lied on oath. We are together in practice. It wasn't like that. Is it when you get to the office, you no longer know where to find the law and how to apply it? We have kept quiet for too long. We'll be calling them out one by one. They want to destroy this democracy. It was not part of our struggles during the military. Check all those who are working with Tinubu today. None of them was part of us, apart from Festus Kayamu and a few others. They were not part of our struggles. Bayononoga, yes. When we were sleeping in the market square on completed buildings, we ran away from our homes. Tinubu was part of it, but at the time he ran away on exile. We know ourselves. So don't go there and think we are different from others. That was what they did. So the case as it is now, the Court of Appeal has arrested that judgment, which is predictable. And we are going to appear before the Court of Appeal on October 26 or thereabouts. So we have no problem, apart from the fact that it has affected aspirants who would have contested on our platform. We have lost a lot of people. And that we'll deal with when the whole matter is over.
Let me ask for clarity's sake,
yeah,
information of the viewing public.
Yes.
How old is Zenith Labour Party?
Zenith Labour was registered in 2018. Yes. You know, I was the national chairman of Labour Party.
Yes.
I left the place in 2014. I was partyless for 4 years before Zenith Labour Party was registered. And since our registration, we have been winning. There was no time we didn't win elections.
The reason why I asked the question, Chief,
yes,
is just to state clearly,
yes,
for the record,
yes,
that Zenith Labour Party is not an SPV that was just registered.
No.
2025.
We've been there. We've been there and we've been winning.
Now, the next question, Chief, which I want to address very strongly, just like you did the first question.
Yes.
So the Attorney General, in fact, let's even begin from this amorphous organization.
Yes.
You call them like a party.
It's an NGO, social club.
Initially,
what is their interest? What is the locus?
Exactly.
The Lifu gave them locus.
Now, they were initially faceless.
Yes.
The coming in
yes,
of the Attorney General,
yes,
the way he came in very strongly.
Yes.
How do you interpret this?
In fact, we later found out. You know, we have a kingpin in Nigerian politics today who determines what happens.
And who is this, sir?
Who gets what and how. The whole thing was hatched in the Attorney General's office. And that person knew that if you come directly to me in ZAP, he cannot fight me. Because I have things about him. If I bring it out, this country will shake. These are the Shylocks deceiving President Tinubu. On the other hand, they're working against him unknowingly.
You care to mention the name of this individual?
Use your tongue to count your teeth. Use your tongue to count your teeth.
I may know, but it is not in my place to mention.
Then if you know, tell them.
No, you are the one, making this claim. So
even as I'm saying it, you know the person I'm talking about. So why are you asking me? You know how a bird feeds. And you're asking people, how does a bird feed? You know it feeds through the mouth. These people will put President... In fact, they have made President Tinubu lose supporters. President Tinubu had hitherto had sympathizers. Not because he was fantastic. Let me give you an example like myself. As somebody who was with us in the struggle, you know, I am a firm believer that dogs should not eat dogs. At the time, Tinubu and I were in Abiola's house on daily basis. And we were imbibed. We soaked ourselves with the ideologies and ethos of Abiola. So when he became president, I said, okay, let me see. We are happy. Maybe I didn't win. I was a contestant too. I didn't win. I said, okay, maybe he will follow those things Abiola told us that he would have done if he had become president. So you can see automatically my sympathy without fighting him. I've never fought him. Even I used my position in political parties organization to say, please, Surulere, let's take it easy. Let's watch him. Unfortunately, he came at a time when the country was at this lowest ebb. But what have you done to get it up? So what I'm telling you is that he had some sympathies. Even though people could not attack him, but they watch him. They had the opportunity to attack like others. And some attacks are pungent and strong. We left it. And that's why some people accuse us, you're APC. No, I've never been in APC. I've never opened my mind that I supported Tinubu publicly.
You know your history.
Yes.
Your trajectory.
Yes. Yes.
Are you disappointed? And how disappointed, if it is yes, how disappointed are you? Let's even leave governance issues or failures.
Yes.
Democratic assault. Maybe you may say not him, but his handlers. Are you disappointed and how disappointed if it is?
I don't think President Tinubu is somebody that willingly allow people to dictate to him. President Tinubu is somebody who believes at every material particular that he has control of the system. He has to. That's the type of character he is. But people can go around it without his knowledge. President Tinubu also has certain persons that he can never fail to listen to. So when you go through these persons, that thing assimilates, that one gets into him. But I don't think President Tinubu should be somebody who will not appreciate the role played by people in the making of his presidency. They're not begging for anything. I'm not even sure that if he had given anything to them, all of them would take. I and Shitu, we are penciled for ministerial position during Jonathan. Nwanyanwu, I turned it down that I was still building Labour Party. When I finished, let's go. How many Nigerians will turn down ministerial appointment? And I think that was what made President Jonathan to see something different in me, that he called me personally. President Jonathan will go, as president, my chairman, join me in my campaign tomorrow. Join me, I'm going to this place tomorrow. I'm going to Lagos, I'm going to Aba, I'm going to Delta. Join me. What could be more rewarding than that without asking for anything? And each time I travel with President Jonathan, surprisingly, in the Air Force One, you have where I call the boys' quarters, where you have many people. Then you have where they call the VIP. I gave those names, I don't know what they call it. But after that, you walk forward. On the right, you see the presidential cubicle. There are just 4 seats on the table. Of all the times I traveled with President Jonathan, I was in that cubicle with him. And when we are going down, on landing, I got up to move. They said, no, sit. Everybody left the aircraft. The ADC now said, you can go. As I was going down the stairs, I looked back, see the president. I said, what is this one? Me? So I got down. I remember when we were going to Aloji power plant in Abia. We came down at Imo Airport. Then there was Nwanyanwu, MKO Abiola, all the PDP kingpin. As I was here, the president was just behind coming down. I came down, they say, PDP. I say, I'm not in PDP. I'm a friend of the president. Everywhere, calm down. And when the president was introduced me in Delta, he said, with me here is the national chairman of Labour Party. He's not in PDP, he's a friend of the president. I never accepted what I was not. So, President Jonathan saw something in me. And that was why I told people that I was for President Jonathan head to toe. So people will see me that time. President Jonathan head to toe. I say, yes, Benny. Because he's a man with a heart. A man that wanted to change Nigeria. A man who believed in the unity of the country, but was betrayed by his party from the leadership down. He was betrayed. It was PDP that got him out of office.
Not the APC, not the opposition.
No, it was the PDP leadership. And I remember one of the trips, our last trip to Lagos, when the president was to meet the young entrepreneurs in Lagos. In that presidential cubicle was President Jonathan, Adamu Muazu, national chairman of PDP, myself, and Orubebe, 4 of us. President Jonathan had come back from a long trip the previous day. So when the aircraft took off, he went to the bedroom to rest in the aircraft. Muazu opened his mouth. He was telling Orubebe, let me tell you why the North will not vote for Jonathan. These are things people would like to say, and it's happening to Tinubu now, but he will not see it. I won't tell him. Let me tell you why the North will not vote for Jonathan. The first reason he gave was the alleged ostentatious living by Niger Deltas in Abuja. They've taken over Transcorp, they've done this, they've done that. I said, Mr. Chairman. He said, no, wait, you are not part of it. I said, yes, but I'm a friend of the president. He continued. He got to the second reason. How Mama P, the first lady, was talking to her, the way he was abusing the North. And President Jonathan thought the North would vote for him. As he was trying to explain, the aircraft started descending. President Jonathan came back to the cubicle. I told Orubebe, collect the 2 other reasons and hand them over to the president. He said that. And when we landed the next day, I would say, yes, he took the reasons. He told the president. And I called the president the next day. President Jonathan will always pick my call. As small as I was, I'm not a frivolous person. I am not demanded. When I ask for something, I need it. It's not for show. It's not for... I go with needs, not wants. I called President Jonathan and said, did Orubebe speak to you, Mr. President? He said, yes, I've taken it. Okay, thank you, Mr. President. There was no time I called him and said I wanted to come. He said, come in. I didn't pass through anybody. I never passed through anybody to speak to President Jonathan. But here I am. I didn't get appointment. I didn't get contract. I'm not a contractor. I didn't get anything monetary. But I loved him genuinely, and he loved me too. So there was no advice I gave him he did not take seriously, because it was not based on self-interest. He knew we were pure. So, and that was how we are supporting President Tinubu, who in my view didn't care. I have conquered all of you. You can do what you want. Okay, no problem. We are going to the conquest venue. But I must tell you, Tinubu had opportunity to be one of the best presidents. Based on his trajectory, based on his antecedents, based on his struggles. But I'm sorry to say he had deviated along the way. You asked me a question, if I say he succeeded or not. There was nothing. Tinubu told any of us privately, if you had the opportunity to be together, that he did not repeat it. I have given an example one day. When he was hospitalized in a co-hospital, room 437, I was the only non-member of the family with Chief MKO Abiola in his hospital bed. And he gave me a timetable, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. At times, I will end up going by 3 a.m., 2 a.m. That time, Nigeria was good. I would drive alone, pass Oshodi, get to my house, no problem. Not now. Go and try it now. One day, he called me. He said, comrade. I said, Mr. President. He said, do you know one of the reasons why I want to be president? I said, tell me, Mr. President. He said, look, there was a time I had minor surgery in King's Hospital, London. They wheeled me to the theater. There were 3 or 4 doctors on the left, on the right, all white. And I was on the bed waiting. I said, do this and let me go. They said, no, sir. We are waiting for the chief surgeon. He said, chief surgeon, okay. He said, 35 minutes later, a black man came in with 2 doctors, white doctors. That one came close to him to bed and said, a cancer, sir. He said, Kiloruke, Shomo Yorubani? He said, yes. He said, Abiola told me that tears dropped from his eyes. Are you the one they're waiting for? The doctor said, yes. He said that day he swore that any day he became president, he will put hospitals like this in all the geopolitical zones.
This was Abiola narrating?
This was Abiola talking to me. Tinubu was aware of it. Abiola talked to us about education. Abiola talked to us about security. Tinubu was aware of it. He may have told Tinubu more that I didn't know. All for common good. Look at me. Igbo, Christian, left with Abiola, Yoruba, Muslim in his room, hospital room. The family, the wives will bring food and leave it with me. Abiola will work. Have they brought food? I said, okay, give me. I will serve Abiola. He will eat. I will eat the leftover. It was like that on a daily basis. Tell me any president or anybody in this country that will have that cross-tribal trust today in Nigeria. Though you will say at that time I was politically naive. I have no political knowledge, ambition. Maybe he saw my heart that this man is just empty in the heart. Let me go with him. I will tell you. When he had problem, I don't know how long you have in this interview. When he had problem with Nigerian Labour, when he had problem with Nigerian Labour Congress, because the Babangida regime told him, take it to the bank. Take Pascal Banfield, president of NLC, as your running mate. I quote, your road to the presidential villa will be smooth. Abiola came and told us in the Labour. I was in Labour then. We were happy. We were preparing. Don't forget then, there were governors in place. Yes. National Assembly members in place. What was left for the presidential election? Abiola assured us. So on that May Day, Abiola said he will come and announce it on May Day, May 1. The governors, Kingibe and others, you know, all the governors, they told Abiola, if you pick Pascal, we are not going to support you. But Abiola, being somehow politically naive, didn't know the power of the military in forcing him as president. We are waiting on May Day in Abuja for Abiola to arrive on our May Day and announce the nomination. We didn't start at 10, 11, 12, 1:45. News came from comrades. Abiola has big thingibo. Start your May Day. Even as we are marching that day, we are marching like people that have lost both parents the same day. That was the beginning of the problem of Chief Abiola. If I start the story of June 12, I want to write a book. It will be of many volumes. So that was part of it. Abiola knew all this. Tinubu knew all this. All the maneuvering. So how do you want me to assess him? Tinubu should assess himself, enter his closet, lock himself, look at the ceiling, think back. What have I done wrong? Without any of his aides knocking at his door. Then he should use his tongue again to count his teeth.
What I actually asked, I didn't say you should assess his governance.
Yes.
Or policies. We can do that another time. But I wanted you, because the question that led to all of this is, this apparent, it is not debatable, deliberate effort to destabilize opposition political parties. Yourself,
yes,
your party.
I become a victim.
Exactly.
Before I was saying, I don't think it's possible. I don't think one party system is possible. I am now convinced that it is possible.
the SDP presidential candidates in 2023, Adebayo Abiola.
Yes.
I was telling him.
Yes.
I said, don't you see this as a... He said, no, that is the...
I shared the same sentiment before.
They have problems among themselves. Yes. But now, there's fire under his house now.
Yes.
They have factions, they have this, they have that.
Yes.
So, the question I asked her was that, are you not disappointed in President Tinubu that under his watch, a Democrat, somebody who fought against military dictatorship and all of that, under his watch, this destabilization of opposition political parties is going on?
President Tinubu is a student of Machiavellian's principle. So,
you are the second person saying this on this.
No, President Tinubu is a professor of Machiavellian principle.
Professor?
Yes. You don't follow him.
Solomon Dalon said he is a master of the Machiavellian.
Oh, thank God I didn't see that interview.
Solomon Dalon said
Look.
He's a professor.
No, sit down and study President Tinubu. Sharp. Knowledgeable. He has things in his palm, but he chooses the one to use. There are many that will give accolades, but the fear of that not working for him, he will not touch it. You see, I am not telling somebody to tell me about President Tinubu. You can watch somebody closely, you watch him, you start. You see, things you learn when they are young doesn't leave you. They don't go. Because every day, what you do is to give the other side of analysis, not that it has left you. I'm talking of 1993. How old was I then? I saw it all. He was the most consistent in that struggle with Chief Abiola. He will come, Abiola will say, hey, comrade, wait for me, I'm coming at 3. He won't come until 2 a.m. He will go out to Tinubu. I wish they will arrive. So I will go upstairs and be sleeping. They will come and wake me, he's back.
In Abiola's house?
In the house.
So, sir, I want to ask you before...
Not outside, in the house.
Yes,
I had a particular place I parked my car.
Before it escapes my mind, for the benefit of especially our young viewers, and especially in this toxicity, this toxic political environment that we have in 2026 Nigeria, how close were you to Chief MKO Abiola President? How close were you? What role did you play in his life and the life of the family? How close were you?
Well, I wasn't working with the family.
Yes.
It's I and Abiola.
But you are more or less a member of the family.
Yeah, but let me tell you, apart from Mama Kudirat,
Yes.
Mama Leko,
Yes.
who from time to time I move to her, she'll call me, I go to her wing. Yes, it's Mama Leko we knew her then. Then her wing is that side. You see, when the problem with NSC was hot, Chief Abiola called me. Comrade, that time Naira was in small denominations. He said, please take this bag. Go and sort the NSC out. I said, for what, sir? He said, no, go, beg them. I will take care of them. I said, no, I don't think we need the money. He said, what? I said, don't need the money. 2 Ghana must go. I didn't touch it. The next morning when I resumed, Mama Leko Kudirat ran to me. Comrade, come. Chief told me last night he gave you money, you refused. I said, no, I didn't need it. Do you know you are the only person in this family who has come here and refused money? But what did Abiola tell me when I refused? He said, okay, no problem. You are going to the villa with me. It came from his mouth. Did I understand what he was saying? It didn't mean anything to me. So my closest, the man loved me as a son. And that's why till tomorrow, I'm always close to tears. How he was denied presidency. Because of these characters. Some have held big positions in this democracy. Some are still around. Who made it impossible for him to be president? And if he had become president, we wouldn't have been where we are. I'm not talking for selfish reason. Because he said I'll go to the villa with him. So maybe I'll be behaving like all these ones. No. In fact, whatever I will do will come from him because I was politically naive. I didn't know jack apart from going around watching rallies, watching Azikiwe. Anywhere they are, I follow them and listen and go home without analysis. That was my passion. Even in the 70s, 79, 80, 81, 82. It didn't go beyond that. So, the closeness is unquestionable and it is not debatable.
The issue of is an Igbo man is a this.
No, but I told you I'm Igbo. Abiola knew I was Igbo. Abiola is Muslim. You know, I'm Christian. Look at me. leaving his food with me in the hospital room. I will serve him. He will eat. I will eat the remainder. It doesn't happen now. You can't have that thing. Everybody, his PA will be his brother. The chief of staff will be his in-law. The key positions he will give his, that's what we see today in Nigeria. No patriotism, no nationalism. Everybody's taking, conquer it. Conquer it. This is your turn. Take it. They did it the other time. And that was why, you see, it's part of that favor Tinubu had. When Buharists were attacking him in the first year, second year, I came out, and it became the subject matter. I say, where were you people when Buhari ruined this country for 8 years? You were deaf and dumb. This man has just done 2 years. Let's wait for him and see what he can do. Don't drag. It's like when Professor Yusuf said he didn't know why Igbos were not part of a demonstration. I told him, keep quiet. You were here during Buhari. That Igbos had nothing against Tinubu. Igbos will not fight against Tinubu. Igbos will not demonstrate against Tinubu. I took it up with the cultural unions before President of Hanese then, late Nwanyanwu, told Igbos not to get involved. When you people were enjoying everything, nobody remembered us. Professor Yusuf, why are you calling the Igbos? Are they important? A dot in a circle? You went to take loans to build rail lines up to Madi, not in Nigeria. Not 1 inch was done in the southeast. This is a loan. Southeast is part and parcel of the repaying. It's just like this one now Tinubu did. And you have clowns from the southeast talking rubbish. Why not you do for Tom as you did for Harry? You are taking loan from World Bank, you are taking from China, you are taking from this to build this, build that. And the worst aspect, the man presenting it to the Executive Council is Igbo. And there is none in the southeast, not 1 inch. Last week, he said Tinubu is the Biafra. I clap. Good thinking, good product. Igbos are laughing at him. So don't drag me to this tribal thing. I will say it if it affected other people. You took loan running into billions of dollars for projects. None was cited in the southeast. If I say it, will I lose my tentacles? Will I? No. So, you see, these are part of it. These are part of the issues that Abiola said he will address. And anybody trying to address Nigeria's problem where everybody will be happy, a cabal will stop them. That is the problem of Tinubu. So it's left for President Tinubu to look backwards and see, was this my intention when I wanted to run for president? Was this part of why we are involved in the June 12 struggle? So it is left for him to determine. After by end of this year, early next year, we'll go to the polls. It's left for the people to decide. But if you ask me, I'm always truthful to myself. I don't deceive myself. I tell myself the truth. And the worst thing that will happen to you is when you are lying to yourself.
Chief, let's switch gears and make quick progress.
Up to you. I'm here for you.
I've enjoyed, this meeting, but we need to run. Now, recently, Justice Omar, if I'm not mistaken,
yes,
and then later on, Justice Omar gave 2 different judgments, nullifying certain aspects of INEC's timetable guidelines that they were in conflict with the Electoral Act 2026 as amended. Even though INEC has gone on appeal, but what is your party doing to benefit from that judgment?
You see, the one that surprised me is the one given on Tuesday by Justice Omar.
Yes. Why are you surprised?
Because Nigerians have an opinion about him. That this is a judge that belongs to a Shylock politician.
You keep mentioning this Shylock.
Wait, I'm coming. Why are you rushing me now?
Give us a date of this Shylock politician.
It's you. You are the Shylock politician. Nigerians have that opinion. So when they say it's a motor, it has been alleged. So that was shocking. But I want to congratulate Justice Omar.
Congratulations.
Yes, for being courageous in taking that decision. That was the position of Interparty Advisory Council. We say, yes, you can't bring out a guideline that infringes on our rights. We didn't make this Electoral Act, but you must give us that leeway for us to operate. What did he say? He said, look, you have the liberty to do your guidelines. But your guidelines must fall in tandem with provisions of the Electoral Act. For example, you can't tell us to close register by 10th of May when we have opportunity to do that by the Act. More months, ditto submission of candidates, ditto withdrawal of candidates. That was all Justice Omar said. And immediately I read that, the spirit of Caribbean White, Kayode Shaw, Oputa, Obaseki, Owayes, Wale, Nikitobi, Ogutade, their spirit resonated. These are judges who were bold and fearless during the military. They didn't care.
Who stood up to the military?
Who stood up to the military? So, that was all Omar was saying. All we had was INEC has gone on appeal. Let me ask you, what has INEC got to lose if they did not appeal? What do they have to win, to benefit if they appealed? All they're saying is, go and adjust your timetable to be in line with the Electoral Act. That thing happened on Friday. INEC worked throughout the weekend with their lawyers and appealed on Monday. On Tuesday, Omotosho came again. We are parties are coming together to hire as many as senior advocates to set aside the entire Electoral Act. You cannot sit down as a Senate, as House of Rep, to rewrite the constitution of the parties. We're going to set aside the entire process. Selfishness, because you are plotting. At least it's clear to them now that some of them are not wanted. They have been shortchanged in their various parties. Those who are singing, that's it, that's it, that's it. So that judgment was right. Let me take you up. The intention was, by the time we shove out those we didn't want, they cannot move. It is not true. The Act did not say so. Yes, we have submitted our register. The register is there. Now, nomination will be ending, primaries will be ending on 30th, based on these set-aside guidelines. I remember in our last meeting with INEC, the issue of register and substitution came up. Yabagi, Dr. Dantele, chairman of IPAC, was the first person that raised it, followed by Yabagi. Then I raised up my hand. I said, Mr. Chairman, I don't know why my brother chairmen are worried about this issue. The process we are going through now on this primary, this nomination process, ends on the 30th by your timetable. The issue of substitution is another activity covered separately. The chairman of INEC, Joash Amopeta, said, Chairman, I agree with you. We cannot use the same register because registration is still going on. The number we submitted to INEC has doubled now.
Absolutely. Because it's an ongoing process.
So put aside all this. Every individual has some fundamental rights imbibed in him by the virtue of his humanity. Freedom to choose.
Association.
Freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of religion, and so on and so forth. These are fundamental rights. These are inalienable rights. They are sacrosanct and they are cast on stone. So what made you think that because I lost primary in this, I can't deregister myself, move and register in another party, contest election under that party? That is what the Constitution says. In fact, if you go to the Electoral Act, it's saying something different from the first process of submission of register. Because it said there, all primaries, you must submit a register. So if I'm doing primaries, which I'm supposed to do to substitute a candidate, I must submit the register of the party. And the register I will submit is the current register of the party, where those names, new names, could be found.
Chief, yesterday, just yesterday,
Yes.
sitting right here,
Yes.
Mr. Samson Itodo,
Yes.
the Africa.
Yes.
I asked him,
Yes.
did he think, does he believe that political parties who have suffered greatly from this shenanigan of INEC on this timetable and headlines, that did you guys do enough work before the electoral act was passed and all that? He said you guys were sleeping. His words. That you guys went to bed, you were sleeping completely. That you failed yourselves. And
Well,
that's why the National Assembly and the presidency quickly steamrolled the entire process, assented to it, and then it has boomeranged now.
Well,
Because what you are doing now, all the parties coming together to do a class, a class suit, an action suit, if I get that right. That's what you ought to have told them. How to respond?
you see, Itodo is a very experienced person in political party management and all that. You can't write him off.
He's about the most experienced. when it
You
comes to
can't
this.
write him off. You can't write him off, but I think he got this one wrong. We attended all the public hearings. We documented everything. What did they expect us to do? To go and fight in the National Assembly? To go and fight them? They have done what they wanted to do under the circumstance. And we are doing what we know how to do best now. They will have cases on daily basis. Let us see those judges that will dance with illegality, that will dance with that perfidy. You see, parties were not sleeping. We did all we were expected to do. We attended all the public hearings. We made our presentations. We appeared before all of the committees. So what again are you supposed to do? We appeared as he appeared. For example, what of the right of women? Did you find it there? No, did you find it there? Because I didn't see it. I asked people, I said, show me. Are women going to have those seats again? Maybe there's a place it is, I didn't see it. But all of them, they have wives, they have daughters, they love women. So have concubines like David. But yet, when you talk about women, you fight them. When you talk about women, they run away. Even the ones we have, look at how they have treated them in the Senate. You see, when you want to do evil, no good will enter your ear and stay. Because you have a mindset of where you're going. Look at the amendment to their rules. That you must have been in the Senate for 8 consecutive years to be a principal officer in the 11th Senate. You are in the 10th Senate. You are determining for a Senate that is yet to come. A Senate you are not sure whether you will be there, as some of them have fallen out. You are determining for it. You see, you have to, even if you have done 8 years, you must be part and parcel of this 10th Senate. How dare you? What is good about 10th Senate? We are the only ones. Nobody else will come and be principal officer. We are the only ones. Nobody else. Even if they have stayed 8 years, unless they are in this Senate, they will not be. Let me take it. Senator Akpabio was no senator when he entered the Senate. Through his political maneuvering, he became a minority leader of the Senate against his party's position. He stepped out, became a minister. He came back into the Senate and became Senate President. Senator Akpabio has not done 8 years consecutively. So even now, he's not qualified to be a Senate President. That was the point Adams Oshiomhole was making in the Senate. And he warned him for the last time. A person that came to Senate as you did, only that you are asked to preside over this place, which you can be removed at any time. And another person, another lesser mortal will occupy the seat. So why would you make laws that will favor you? And when you step out, those laws will haunt you. So that was what they did. That's what they did. Unless you are in this particular Senate. What is special about 10th Senate? I have said it before. This 10th Senate is the worst Senate we have ever had since 1999. They have taken over from Lawal Senate. Lawal Senate, Nigerians call them rubber stamp Senate. But this one is rubber stamp Senate promax. They don't think about any bill. They don't think about any request. Once it comes in, adopted. And they may not be in the interest of Nigeria. Once you have done the maneuvering in night, done the appropriate thing and all that, pass. So what is particular about 10 Senate? What?
Let's switch gears. In 2014,
Yes.
and I'm glad you referenced your closeness to former President Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes.
Nigerians were up in arms, led by, incidentally, some of the key actors in government now.
Yes.
Mobilized Nigerians against President Jonathan. In
Yes.
fact, from 2012,
Yes.
remember the fuel subsidy?
Yes.
Yes.
Very
So,
well. Bakare and all that.
exactly. So 2014, precisely, Nigerians rose up in arms against it. Oh, it should free democratic space and all of that, protesting and all of that. But in comparison to today, sir, what is going on with destabilizing PDP, Labour Party, SDP, your party, trying to even go ahead to deregister them, because of anticipatory, use of, platforms and all of that. Why are opposition and civil society organizations quiet? Why are you giving President Tinubu a free pass?
You see, there are things I will not say here.
Please, you have to say it.
It even affected their own organizations. It affected their own media.
Yes.
You see, it's like just watch, don't talk.
Yes. Yes.
There are things I won't say here, but our intelligence supplied us all that has transpired. That what you are seeing. Even when people are like, Bakare, where are you? Diboye, where are you? Odi, where are you?
Tunde Bakare, where are you?
You see, when you are fighting a good man, and President Jonathan did the right thing. I've told you how even his national chairman of the party was against him. And when we got to that young entrepreneurs meeting, he spoke vociferously why they would vote for Jonathan. But by the time he came to Abuja and went to the north, he said, don't vote for him. You see, there are a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of treachery, a lot of people don't say what they believe in. So don't bother yourself with that. But what happened to President Jonathan? It is God's revenge that has been happening to Nigeria since Buhari regime. Because the man did nothing. They wanted to blackmail him. They wanted to say all sorts of things against him. Okay. From price of fuel, when it was just increased minimally, as if the heaven would fall. What's the price of fuel today? Even during Buhari's regime. So God has a way of paying people back in their own coins. Unless there is atonement, until those who did it get back to Jonathan and say, please, we are sorry. We did it unknowingly. We were deceived, blah, blah, blah. And Jonathan accepts it and they are forgiven from his heart. What is chasing them? Some of them, no matter where they are, will continue to chase them. For those who believe in God. But for criminal shallow politicians, they believe they are the God. They can do anything. Nothing will happen. But something will happen someday. Because there is a limit to the excesses of man. There is a limit you can go as a mortal. And I don't also like to accept that because you are in power, you can just do what you like. President Jonathan has finished. Today, he is the most popular politician across the globe with Obasanjo. They call him here, they call him there. Because of that singular decision he took. President Jonathan was in a position to say, nullify that election. 1 week, 2 weeks, it will fizzle out. But he said no. The blood of Nigeria should not be wasted for my ambition. A man with conscience, a man brought up under good Christian home, who saw the perks of office and how he was living unjustifiably. People are saying that election, Jega's election was rigged. I'm inside. It was thoroughly rigged, excessively rigged. I have said so. I was in a function somewhere at the Air Force Base. You were talking. I said, don't say that. You know you rigged the election.
You were telling them?
Yes, I said you rigged the election. You stopped that point. In the Air Force. Air Force, listen. We have the facts. That election was rigged. Jonathan was rigged out. But Jonathan didn't want. He didn't want trouble. Okay, let me go.
If you want me to go, let me go.
If you want to go, let me go. After all, he had become president. GC, FR.
For 5 years.
You can pick it on the street. Even for one day you are president, you are GC, FR. So you can pick it on the street. That's a perfect gentleman. It is the crime and the offense committed against Jonathan for doing nothing that you are suffering today. For those who believe, fine. If you don't believe that, I'll leave it. Leave that, that's how he talks. Okay. Or go and get us out from that problem. If that's how I talk. You must do atonement.
So Jonathan not God.
Of course, you first of all have to apologize to the person. And the person accepting you, God will look at his eyes and say, okay, let it pass. Nigeria was unfair to President Jonathan. Very, very unfair. Because we have plotted, we wanted to take power by hook or crook means, and we did. If Jonathan had cancelled that election, what would have happened? Nothing. Nothing. And justifiably too. That election was rigged massively. That's why you see 12 years, 11 years, all those voting. Where they were doing thumb printing. Where they were using incident forms. And everybody were clapping that because a president left. So that is a good election. I am in the system. I have been in the system. I understand it. So, but there are things you don't have to put fuel on a bonfire. President Jonathan has gone, but we are still suffering it.
May God help us. We're in May 2026, Chief, with elections slated for, I think, February next year, or January.
And of January 20th.
January 20th. Brilliant. What is the plan of your party, Zenith Labour Party, and the opposition generally to prevent, what is popularly perceived as going to be massive rigging? Because, Chief, the APC did their presidential primaries over the weekend. And they said the president got 10.99 million votes, which is more than the 8.9 or so he got in the general elections. And the party chairman came out the next day to say, they already registered 12-point-something million people as APC members. Even though one line of Shakim and said they don't know what he's talking about. So some people have alleged that they are perfecting their rigging formula. What is your party doing to stave off imminent rigging in 2027?
You see, we are still on our primaries. Yeah. We won't carry guns. I believe in how there's a supernatural being that intervenes in affairs of men. If they're planning rigging, fine. Others will watch it, they rig, okay. I don't believe in speculation. But I read the handwriting. At times I read it and keep it somewhere and be watching it. Let me tell you, this election will be the toughest.
You think so?
It will be very tough.
In what ways?
In every way. In every way.
Keenly contested.
Of course.
But the opposition, you guys have split your votes again.
Don't worry. Let everybody emerge. Let everybody emerge. And then we'll see how we go about it.
So there's still a game plan?
You see, we met 3 days ago, about 7 parties. Anyway, let's not go there. Let's not go there. What we did was just a review of the process. We are going to meet again next week, Monday. A review of the process. By Monday, all the presidential candidates would have emerged. Then we start looking at them. There are some we'll talk to. There are some who say, okay, sit down. Look at what is important. See, as it's done in other climes. This is our position about power. What do you have about power? You look at it. Look at the amount of money we have spent on power. On our refineries.
When you say power, electricity.
Electricity. You go to fuel supply on our refineries. So, you see, and we are still there. Motion, no movement.
No progress.
No progress. And you think we can continue? Our neighbors have passed this stage. And yet, you see Nigerians, they be rationalizing what is not within the sphere. What Nigerians are asking for is service. What we're asking for is service, not who is there. But you see, in this country, it is better my man is there and be involved in corruption and stealing than somebody comes who will make Nigeria better for everybody. Once your man is there, you become deaf and dumb. But if the other man comes, come and see attack. You come up with your venom on how he has to live. Nigeria will not grow that way. And you need a president that has guts to change things without looking at faces. We are not getting it yet.
You are the Zenith Labour Party.
Yes.
It's an interested party in Rivers State local politics. You conducted you won all the chairmanship.
No, that's Abia.
Okay, that was
In Rivers, we won councillorship, which the court nullified. Yes.
That's what I said.
No, that's in Abia.
That was another.
No, in Abia, I want to tell you, we don't want to do. Some people came for governorship. I told them, do you think you can defeat OT? They said, yes. OT is not doing anything. OT is not that. I said, my friend, keep quiet. Keep quiet. Since 1999, show me what the other governors did. I was seeing on TV this morning. The bus terminal. It's like in Europe. Not like it in this country. A small state. Go and look at the infrastructure. Look at things he has done. About that was a no-go area. They hardened up the commercial center of Abia State. I said, my friend, you must give me a blueprint to show me item by item how you can defeat. So I don't want you to waste your money. Tomorrow you start crying.
Now, the reason why I brought up your party in Rivers is OK Chinda has emerged APC governorship candidate, even though he is a minority leader on the platform of the PDP. How do you respond to this? And Fubara withdrew and all of that.
You see, Rivers State has taught us a new political philosophy and structure. And we are learning keenly. You are saying that nobody can belong to two political parties. Yes. That's what the National Assembly is saying.
Yes.
That,
it's in the act.
No, it's not in the act.
Okay.
It's not in the act. Okay. That's what they're saying. They wrote something that suggests that.
Okay.
But it's not what is there. Okay. But why should I belong to two political parties? If I may ask. If I'm tired of you, I deregister and go to another one. That is the right given to me by Chapter 4 of the Constitution. I can move. I don't need their permission to move. So, although people have facts, by the time he moved to become candidate of APC, APC has submitted this register. The original register is with some people as I'm talking to you. Oh, his name is not there. So people are waiting. His name is not there. You see, but in this country, once you are the right place, or you are the right group connected to the right place, anything can happen. Anything, just anything. It can be maneuvered, and they can go and change. They can go and change that register, but the original CTC has been collected. So you see, this is the problem we have. You don't make rules to suit a purpose. Chinda is a parliamentarian I love so much. Very useful, very strong. He knows how to marshal his things in the house. But you see, the politics of Rivers is interesting. And Fubara, I don't know why I have not talked to him. I've not spoken to him. But when I discuss with people, I say, look, is this man not seeing this thing? Is this man not seeing this thing? It's like somebody escorted to Golgotha. You know what is Golgotha? In the Bible, a place of the skull. That's why they slaughtered, they cut off the skull. Somebody was escorted to Golgotha until the dying minute. But here's an option, if he has courage. I will give you the option. Fubara can still contest. Good. We are, with this case, we have up to September to close both the register and submission of names. The act is there.
The decision of Justice Omar.
Of course, the act said 200. Look, there will be litigations. Whether justice or no justice. If I put my own refuse, it's there. After choosing the date of election, which I've chosen to be January 20th, I have 200 days before the election to submit my names. If I say no, I go to court. Fubara can in September, October.
Are you sure it's 200 days or 120 days?
200 days.
Are you sure, sir?
Yeah.
I think it's 120 days.
Well, whatever it is.
I think it's 120 days.
Well, whatever it is not August.
Yes, of course.
Good. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, Fubara can run. Fubara can contest. And I still hold this strongly, that any platform Fubara goes, he will still be governor. Their interest is to vote for Tinubu. No problem. Let all of you put your votes together. But let us release the names of governorship candidates in Rivers. The equation will change. Forget about all this. No, we are going to win everywhere. No, it doesn't work. How will Fubara run? For you to run, you must make sacrifices. What is the sacrifice? You have to leave your office before September. Pull out from APC. Go to the party you want. September, October, November, December, forever. 6 months. Let them take it. Go and take tickets of any other party. Under substitution, you will see what will happen in Rivers. I am not talking based on assumptions. I'm not talking based on hired crowd. People are paid money, they come and make noise. On the day of voting, everybody will be in his polling unit. And the game will change. Let me tell you something. Do you know of this? No, not this one. Remember Zenith Labour Party of blessed memory? When we are campaigning for him
To become senator.
to become governor,
Governor, okay.
he was to take over from P2B
Oh, wow.
before Obiano came in. So I moved my boxes
Under Labour Party.
under Labour Party. I moved my boxes to Oka at my own expense for us to start our campaign. When I arrived, he said, Chair, I discussed that this local government campaign, we will not embark on it. We will concentrate on group, bulk. I said, which one is group and bulk? He said, don't worry, we'll go somewhere in the evening. In the evening, he came and carried me in the hotel with his group. We went to one church program out of town. I don't know how many hectares of land they are occupying. Even before we got there, you see women, you see vehicles, women lapping their babies, breastfeeding their babies. We dropped about 1 kilometer to walk to the venue.
A sea of crowd.
Honestly, till today, I was asking myself, are these human beings or all those that are dead in Nigeria? And immediately he entered, the place turned into something else. So as we are going back, he said, yeah, you can see the announcements. You see these people? I said, yes. I asked him, on the day of election, where would they be? He said, what do you mean? I said, on the day of voting, where would they be? He kept quiet. I said, they will be in their various villages. He said, yes. They won't remember here. By the time they get home, they will key into the politics of the place. So this crowd is for Fize because he promised them a church in that place. I said, that is how it works. I said, I'm going. I carried my tent and left. After the election, Reps Issa Lupito, the fact speaks to itself. They say, Chair, you are right. I said, when you people with money, because we don't have the kind of money you people. You say, there's one problem with rich people. If you're advising them, most rich people, if you're advising them, they will say, if you have all this knowledge, why are you not rich as I am? That's all of them think. Absolutely. If you have all this knowledge, you don't want me to do this. Absolutely. When you guys say, Chair, I should have listened to him. But that day I told him off. And that was the last I entered Oka. That was the last I entered Oka. So it's not a question of you want to do this, you want to do that. When it comes to close to that time, all this gragra will vanish. People will not get to their polling units. The facts will be on the table.
That's where the game is.
That's where the game is. That's where the game why should we? Communities discuss. Exactly. Tell me why we should vote here. Exactly. This man that did this, this man that did this, this man that did this. Or is it this man that didn't do this man that did this against us? Where do we go?
Oh, we've never seen this one.
Or we've never seen this one before.
This one yesterday.
That is how it works. So, what was that issue again?
About Fubara.
So Fubara can run. Okay. Fubara enjoys over 80% of the people. If Fubara today says, President Tinubu, I won't vote for you, and the vote is counted, Tinubu will lose Rivers. You know why it's showing that Tinubu will make visible presence in Rivers? It's because Fubara has keyed in there.
Yes.
I am saying it. I'm not talking. I'm not. My people are in Rivers.
It's not because of the FC minister.
No, my people are in Rivers. My people are in Rivers, and they know when I'm asking the question. You don't tell me lies. If Fubara should say today, sorry, my people, I'm no longer for President Tinubu, based on so and so, saying it, President Tinubu has already lost 60% of his votes. But it's good. He remains to show faith. He's a gentleman. To show good faith. He has pronounced it. Or if the issue is presidential election, okay, go and do it. But for the governorship, if he still wants to be governor, he can still run and become governor.
Let me ask you, sir.
Yes.
The inquiries have dominated Rivers governorships in this Fourth Republic. And then finally, Yesonge brought Fubara, who is an Ijoba. And he has barely done 4 years. You have decided he's not going to go. Now you have got to bring your fellow Ikwere man. So, is it that the Jaws, who are incidentally the largest ethnicity in Rivers State, have they been systematically exterminated, politically speaking?
Well, I don't want to get involved in that Ikwere Ijo thing. The Jaws are there and they're strong enough to defend themselves. You see, just like in Imo, if you allow election in Imo State to continue the way we've been doing it, the Olu zone will continue to produce the governor. But now, in the Elders Council,
Which you remember.
I'm a member of the Imo State Elders Council. And I was the chairman, I'm still the chairman of the strategy committee. That matter was referred to us. It was in my committee that we got what I'll call Imo Charter of Equity. My committee discussed it. We said, look, Olo, my in-laws, you have done this thing for so long. Achigudawa did 8 years. Rochas did 8 years. Senator Hope Uzodinma is doing 8 years.
That's 24, right?
That's 24 years. Hakim just did 4. Ihedioha did 6 months. So, why not tarry a while? Let this thing move for justice and equity.
You said all of these people you mentioned are they from Oluzo?
They're from Olu.
Oh, wow.
Achigudawa, Rochas Okorocha, and the current governor, Senator Hope
All of
Uzodinma.
Hakim and the...
Hakim is of Kigwe.
Okay. And then...
Ihedioha is where is it?
Okay.
So we said, okay, let us, Hakim 4 years, okay, let Owerri test it. My committee pushed it to the Elders Council. Elders Council endorsed it. We said, okay, let us get the governor to key into it. We met the governor. Governor keyed into it.
Where Nigeria is today, as we wrap up, what is or who is the biggest threat to our democracy? Where Nigeria is today? What is or who is the biggest threat to this democracy, this nascent democracy?
Greedy, wicked, and devilish politicians. They are the weakest, they are the threat to democracy. Yeah.
Greedy, wicked,
And devilish politicians.
Is there a scenario, sir, where you have reflected deeply, that the quest to remove President Tinubu democratically has become impossible, or is it still feasible?
You see, all we are saying is let the vote count. And let the vote be counted. I don't know whether it was Sterling that said, it is not the voter that determines the winner. Yes. It is the person that counts the votes. But I don't think that will be the case. And that's why I said President Tinubu still has opportunity to right some wrongs. This is May. He can right some wrongs before the first ballot. But there are areas he has actually hurt people. There are many areas he has hurt people. He didn't do the right thing. But let me even ask it. Why must you be making appointments the way Buhari tribalized it? Why?
Nepotistic.
Why? You mean there is no other person? If I'm president today, do you know where I have problem in appointing people? It's from the southeast. All other parts of the country, it will be easy for me to pick. Maybe because of my background. Why? You look at a whole place, it is the same tribe. You see, the difference between Tinubu and Buhari, when I was talking about tribal, ethnic, nepotism and all that, is that Buhari has a better and larger followership than Tinubu.
Really?
Yes. Buhari had, what will I call it? Supporters who are committed to him in everything. He did no wrong. Tinubu cannot say that even of the West. Of all that President Buhari did during his tenure, no serious northerner condemned him. But Tinubu is getting some flags from the Southwest. Because Yorubas, I have been with them since 1978. Yorubas don't support evil. Yorubas don't support injustice. If you like, put a gun on their head. If you are doing wrong, they will tell you. At worst, if they cannot talk to you, they start fighting you from another route. That is the character of the Yoruba man. So, Tinubu cannot be making his appointments in the same way as Buhari did it, thinking that they say, after all, Buhari did it. The North is not happy with President Tinubu. Let him know that people around him tell him, don't worry, whatever. That was how they also deceived Jonathan, to the extent that it was alleged that even one governor or one minister collected 4 billion for prayers. This is happening. At the end of the day, it is all deceit. You won't look at the leader and tell him the truth because of your office. You forgot. If the leader falls, you fall with him. So you should be in a position to tell your leader or your friend in office, look at this, I don't think it is right. So that when the comes to become, according to KM Badiwe, you will say, did I not mention it to you? So President Tinubu should not assume that, but he wasn't like that. Even as governor, I knew many people from different tribes, Tinubu gave solidarity. Then what has changed? What has changed? That you remove an Igbo man, you put Yoruba. You remove a Hausa man, you put Yoruba. Even Yorubas are not happy about it, unlike the North that was happy with what Buhari was doing. You remove somebody from Jam, you put another Yoruba man. After 8 years. There is no other person you can find in Nigeria. President Tinubu, read my lips. All these things will count against you. And what I'm saying now, that if you could do this now, what will happen during your second tenure? This will count against you. Anybody can see me as an enemy of your government, but I have told you the truth. It will count against you. It is a major issue when the time comes.
Do you have anything to say to Imolites who are vilifying? You have wowed me with your so excellent commendation of Governor.
I'm not commending Hope. I'm not his government. I'm not his payroll.
And I hope they get across to you on this.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't.
Awesome
To be fair, at times, Hope through his aides will say, "Come and worship with me on Sunday." I will go and worship. I don't enter government house unless when I'm asked to. That has been my principle. I don't go. If you ask me to come, I will come. If you don't ask me to come, you won't see me. I'm not a hanger son. I have a profession. I'm a lawyer, and I feed from it. So, what I would say is, the government should try as much as possible. Anyway, he's not looking for second term. In fact, Governor Hope has worked more now than in his first term, even when he has no obligation to do so. Like other governors, second term, they start packing money. He has worked more and is working more now. All I can advise them is spend some money on media. Bring out all these things you have done. Nigerians don't know, and that's why they're still attacking the governor. But it doesn't matter whether you like Governor Hope or not. Imo people, real patriotic, sensible Imo people are with Governor Hope Uzodimma because he has changed positively what hitherto used to be an albatross for them. So you cannot write it. Let them spend some money on media. Bring out these things one after the other. Let people see it. Showcase it. There is no way people will know what you are doing when you have not brought it out. It is not enough to talk about, to show commissioning and all that. No! All these projects, put them, take them to SYMFONI, take them to Arise, take them to Channel, take them to TVC, take them to everywhere. For the first time, spend some money on media, so that people will know what you are doing. Because there are still people there who think that they are not doing anything. It's only those of us who are in the state.
That was my impression until you started saying this. Because of the high esteem I hold you, I believe what you say.
I don't talk anyhow.
Land of your thoughts on the zoning formula introduced by your strategy committee of the Igbo Elders Council.
Yes, I will. Sorry. Governor brought into it. He had made 3 strong statements on it. So in our last meeting last month, I also got up to thank the elders for that opportunity, that this charter has come to stay. We paid a courtesy call on the governor. Governor also said, Imo, go and look for a Owerri zone. Go and look for a credible candidate.
So it's going to Owerri.
It's coming to Owerri senatorial zone. After that, it will go to Okigwe. After that, it will come to Olo. You see, the reason is there are also good people in Olo, but you see, we cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. Although my in-laws, my wife is from there, we cannot allow you to be doing this. There are other better people on the other side, so that this thing can circulate. And in fact, in the entire southeast, it is in Anambra. If you go to Anambra now, ask any Anambra man after Peter Obiano, where would the next governor come from?
After Soludo.
Sorry, after Soludo, Professor Soludo. Where would the next governor? If you ask 10 people will tell you from where they will get the next governor. Dito Enugu, Dito Ebonyi, Dito Abia. You see, that's the Anambra, all the places. So we are now joining that rotation. Rotation helps. It brings friendliness, brings orderliness, brings peace, equity.
Justice.
But if you allow Owerri to continue, Olo has the highest local government, even though Imo have the highest population, but Olo has a war penetrating Imo and Okigwe to get support, why their vote will be intact. So that's why this is, and that's the thing that's happening in Rivers. Yes, it has gone to Ijos, and now they're taking it away. That's why I say, Ijos have the right to say this is what we want, or this is not what we want. It is not for me to fight for them. But all the contributions and interventions I made during that crisis were patriotically made, and they were the right thing to be done. So if Ijo insists that they have been shortchanged, let all the candidates emerge, then you know what to do. But I tell you, Fubara can still run as governor. You must make sacrifice. If you make sacrifice, move to another party, pick a ticket, you will be governor. For the president's vote, you have assured him, fine. And I have also told him, if you say, no, I'm not going there again, it will go. Let the president not be deceived. Forget about all this money being thrown everywhere. On the day of voting, everybody will be in his house. And the game will change. Yes.
Nice place, man.
Thank you, my brother.
It's been an awesome 2 hours or so.
Have you done 2 hours?
Yeah.
Thank you.